It was a typical gorgeous July day. I mean, it was like in the 80s. It was just a light breeze. The water levels were back to normal. The water temperature was probably in the 70s. It was just absolutely scenic. You couldn't ask for a better day. I remember there being a lot of news coverage, articles in the paper, things like that, but none of it was really ever all that accurate because, of course, they're only going off of police reports. They don't know what really happened. They weren't there.
Yeah, no,
so,
I just remember.
it's why it's
Never
nice to tell a
forget that
story.
feeling of being grabbed, just squeezed to no end. And it was. I kept thinking in my mind, it's gonna stop in a minute because the breaker's gonna blow, and then it wasn't stopping. So it was just like getting crazier and crazier. And I start to relive the pain right now. I mean, I know I'm taping or videoing or whatever you call it nowadays, but man, it's just to think about that pain of that power pulled my whole body, my legs up, my back, my face was shut. Everything, it hurt, man. It hurt. Yes, I've been going to the cabin my whole life, really. I mean, the cabin is in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, so it's about a 4-hour drive. When I was younger, it was like 6 hours at least to get there. But it's on Lake Pokegama. That's where we went. Irregardless, when summer was coming, everybody was saying we're going here, we're going there. We didn't even ask our parents. We just assumed we were going to the cabin at least once, if not twice. And when I was younger, it was a lot of times. So I remember everything: the cabin being, extended, the garage being built, the boathouse being extended, the new dock, the boat lift that involved in the electrocution. I remember it being installed. So, my grandparents bought it apparently in around 1976, and I was born in January of 77. So, my mom says I was, I think, 9 months old the first time that we went, and that I think that makes me one of the first grandkids to go. But obviously, I don't remember that. But I do remember after that, growing up and the cabin being small, and just always being just such an amazing place. But the view, the smell, the air up there is so much different in northern Minnesota. If you've never been there, you've got to go. It doesn't matter where, but anywhere north of that, like Twin Cities, the line up there, 694 or whatever it is, something like that. But anyway. Yeah, so check out the northern part of the state if you want to see some beauty, and that's what the setting was that day. I mean, it was July, typical July. It was absolutely gorgeous out that day. It was, I believe, around probably 80, 85 degrees most of the day. It was just sunny with just the most beautiful clouds passing by. You just picture the day that you would remember and never forget because you thought, oh man, it is so beautiful out here and the water is calm, light breeze. The water levels were all back to normal, so everything was looking really good. There'd been a lot of storms that spring. And that's going to be, part of what comes into play in the accident was a storm, was a storm problem that caused the lift to need to be moved from one spot to another. So we'll cover more of that as we go on. It wasn't that an extension cord fell in the water. That was just kind of an assumption that was made right away because when sheriffs, DNR, first responders, everything like that got there, there was an electrical cord out there. I mean, there's no denying that. There was an extension cord, but one end was still plugged in up underneath the lift like it had been, and the other end, the live end, was sitting on top of the lift like it should have been. and the cord itself had fallen slightly in and had dipped into the water. But of course, that was not what caused the electrocution, the cord dropping in. And that was actually on its own ground fault circuit on that one. So that one is separate. It was built right into the top of the circuit. It was actually the main power cord, which I will get to. That actually caused that. So the articles are wrong when they say that an extension cord fell in the water, and that's what we went with for the whole time until a day with some attorneys when we discovered I was definitely right that it was not an extension cord in the water. And they have photos that I don't have access to for some reason, not sure why, but it shows the cord still plugged in, up in the air, drooping down, dipping into the water, coming up, and then the actual plug itself, you can see it sitting up on the top. It hadn't moved from where it was at. And so that wasn't really seen until I caught it in some pictures, and they weren't real thrilled as I was being sued, obviously, for wrongful death in this. But it was the truth. It wasn't the cord that I was using. I may have been being unsafe with the cord. I can't deny that. But at the same time, it wasn't the cord that I was using that caused the accident. It was a different situation that I was doing that caused the accident. Being episode 1, you're not going to get the most exciting details. More just kind of wanted to set the scene for you. For those of you, there's a lot of new people who've just like interested in it. Obviously, some of my family, my friends, you know the scene, but I got to set it for everybody anyway. So that's why I'm just kind of telling you about where we were at, roughly what happened, and from there. But part 2 will be much less slides and information stuff. It will be more so about I'm just gonna straight up talk and just straight up give my my definition of what took place, and what I remember when I got pulled under. This took this long to record because it's been 10 years, but when your life has changed in a split second, and not just your life though, in the end it's the life of everybody around you. Someone died and he was standing next to me. His life was changed. His family's life was changed. Man, it's not been easy, and that's part of the 3-part of this. It's going to take a lot to get all this out. But I want people to be safe. I don't want ever anyone to feel the pain. I don't want you to feel the pain that I feel every day in my arms, my shoulders, my legs, my back, my neck. I mean, every single day I wake up and I live with pain. That's just part of the deal. And you have to either accept that and move on, or just, I don't know what the other choice is, but my family needs me. I need you guys. And I'm going to do it. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do it. But you guys are going to help me, please, because I appreciate it. And you've all helped me so much so far in my family to get me here to where I am today. is incredible. I've got good doctors and stuff. I think I said some stuff about that maybe in the preview. I've got some new, not a new doctor, but mental health therapists. On my videos, I'm not afraid to talk about my mental health struggles. The fact that I have PTSD, a little bit bad from the accident, depression, anxiety, a lot of that stuff. So you'll hear about that in other videos, but yeah, just know that I'm incredibly sorry for the family, you know, that lost their son, a brother, an uncle. He was a good kid. He was a really good kid, and I, of course, had no intention of anything like that happening. I was standing next to him. I was less than 2 feet away. So if there was any intention, it meant that I was going to commit suicide. And I swear to God, I wasn't going to commit suicide that day. So remember, when I get into more detail, you'll understand that and hear about what I did to prove, that will prove that after I got, you know, saved on the side of the shore there when Christy found me, what I did afterward should be enough to talk about, to say what I did to try to save a life. And then I'll also then into part 3, we'll talk about, you know, helicopter ride and going to another hospital in Duluth, and then some of the early recovery stuff. I'll talk about that in part 3 as well. But remember, I'm going to close my video with get the power away from the docks, number 1. Get the power away from the shore. All of it. There's no need for it ever anymore. I'm powering the lights in my room right now to prove that none of it's necessary, but all the lights, the round light in the back, the big lights, everything is being powered off one 20-volt DeWalt battery. And I don't care what brand you want to use. We can do anything nowadays with batteries. We can raise and lower ice fishing houses using a little ratchet gun deal from any of these places. We do not need power there. We don't need stereos down there anymore. We have Bluetooth. We can bring a little speaker. Hell, drop your speaker in the water. It's probably waterproof. Get the power away from the docks. The only power that we need for shore power is to charge the systems inside the boats, and those should be a completely separate system from anything else that is around that your dock area, your shore area. I promise you, I was conscious, and what I went through under that water, being squeezed and feeling the life come out of me, seeing the light start to change above me, feeling a feeling of peace, thinking to myself, this is how I'm gonna die after everything so far in life. This is it. This is what I die from. It's a horrible feeling, and the pain, I have no idea how I survived it, but it felt like getting hit by a baseball bat, as hard as, you know, any of the biggest hitters can swing a baseball bat in the head hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times in a row when I was under that water. And if you think your kids or even you can survive that, you're crazy. There's something happened that made me survive. It's not because I'm some big tough guy. It's not because I'm allergic to electricity, or not allergic to, whatever you want to call it. it's because something happened under there and I got saved. But otherwise, the rest of you would die. And even if the little gadget you think that's stirring the water to keep the weeds moving with its little power thing isn't enough to hurt someone, there's still 120 volts that is coming from some source that you have running those, typically an electric cord running down your dock somewhere to those things, and it is putting 120 volts in there, and it's probably running on a 10 amp circuit, which is pretty typical for a small boathouse type circuit. That's a lot of power. That's, as that chart shows, that's more than enough to kill any human being. So do yourself a favor. I'm going to end every video with something like this. Get rid of the power by the shore. Had we not had power where we did, my friend and my sister's ex-boyfriend would be still standing here right now today. He would not have died in this accident. He would have survived. There wouldn't have been an accident. We wouldn't have had to worry about it. There was no if there was no power. Get the power away from the water. The only places it should be approved is marinas, and if you have it at your home or at your lake home, there needs to be a legislation of some sort that says, hey, this has been inspected, we get a sticker. I'm all for working with the DNR to talk about how we can do this, because I no longer can even get myself, especially in an aluminum boat, to fish near the shore. I'm afraid that what if someone else has a shore power problem putting electricity into the water and you don't know it? Maybe I even catch a fish, I reach in, I grab the fish, I'm electrocuted again. I don't think my heart can take it twice. I don't think many people else could take it once. So get the power away from the shores. I'm going to end it with that, man. Have a great day, and please come back, check out part 2, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for me. It all helps me super big. I'm not done after this story. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to talk to you guys about my life. I'm going to teach you some cool tricks about some dumb mechanic things that I still can do, all because I'm bored, and I'll just show you why not. I'm going to talk about my family. I'm going to talk about my pets. I'm just going to talk about life, and I'm going to show you what in some videos what it's like to live with mental health, problems like I have. So please come back, subscribe, and then hit that notification bell. I know a lot of people say, oh, you can be that guy. No, I'm not being that guy. I'm new. I need you. Please pass it along, share it, do whatever you got to do. I need it. You guys have a great day. Peace. Love you all.